everyone. I hope you're having a great week today. And I know I haven't posted a video for quite a while. I apologize for that. To make up for it, I asked one of my ever dearest clients, Tracy Timberlake, for an interview and ask her what she thinks of a virtual assistant. What is a virtual assistant for her? Because she is also an entrepreneurial coach, so she also coach people regarding their businesses, and we got to get a view of how she also describes virtual assistants to her clients. This would be very helpful if you would like to know what clients really look for and what clients really think about virtual assistants. So I hope you liked the video, and if you have any questions, please post that on the comment section. So everyone, we have one of my dear clients right now, Tracy Timberlake. I would let her introduce herself to you guys. So,
okay. Hi, guys. I'm Tracy Timberlake. Like R.E.A said, I'm a video marketing strategist for online entrepreneurs. And so I help them make better videos for their brand, also grow their brand in the online space so that they can become six-figure bosses and live the life that they've always wanted.
So Tracy is, just so you know, everyone, Tracy is one of my beloved clients for I don't know, how long have I been working with you?
Since last July, maybe last July. Probably.
And I saw her, she was here last December, so I was able to see her live in person.
Right.
And have lunch with her
have
too.
Have good food, yeah.
and seafood and stuff like that. So I asked Tracy to do this interview because I wanted to get a client perspective on, because you guys have been watching me tell you what a virtual assistant is and what you should do as a virtual assistant and all of that good stuff. Now we're going to get a client perspective on what they think a virtual assistant is, and how they hire a virtual assistant, what they look for, and all of that. And Tracy will be giving that information to us today. So for my first question, Tracy, to you, what is your definition of a virtual assistant, and what do you think VAs can help with in your business or in your clients or your coaching clients' businesses?
Yeah, so I think a virtual assistant is a team member, like for any business. Like I think they offer support. I mean, they are a part of your business. You know, it's like they're an extension of your business. It's not just me doing everything, but now my virtual assistants can offer support to help me, whether they are, you know, posting all of my social media things, making my social media graphics, scheduling out emails. What else can they help do? I mean, design things like create the workbooks, make sure that all my courses are in order, because a lot of times if you're supporting an online entrepreneur like myself, then you know that they're going to have a lot of components to their business. And even though some people can do it themselves, like I can do all of these things myself, but if I spent all the time doing what R.E.A does for me, I would never get a chance to actually do the things that I love doing, like, you know, like making more videos or working with my clients one-on-one. So having a virtual assistant who can support the the administrative side of my business is, I mean, it's a big help because it takes a lot off of my plate so that I don't have to do it. I don't have to go in and schedule emails. I don't have to make workbooks. Things like that, you know, would take me probably double the time that it takes R.E.A to do it anyway. So it's almost not worth it for me to do it myself. It's better if I give it to somebody who can do it faster.
Yep. Yeah. Basically. Yeah. My next question is, since how long have you started, you know, hiring virtual assistants, and what are the key things that you look for when you hire somebody like me? Or a
right.
assistant?
So let's see. Before I hired you, I had like two virtual assistant before that, and they were okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. I think
Mhm.
I think it's just really good when you can find somebody that like gets it. For example, like I work at a very fast pace. Rhea knows this. I don't really give her a lot of time to like do things. I'm like, Rhea, I need this like in 2 days. So because that's just how my mind works. And I think Rhea understands that. So she just makes it happen. And it's like magic. Whereas, you know, other virtual assistants, and I understand like they have lots of clients, or maybe it takes them a little longer to do things. And so I really needed to find somebody who understood my process, because I'll go months and months and months with doing not much, and then all of a sudden in like 1 month I'll be like, I need all this, like give me everything, you know, all right now. So I needed somebody, you know, who understood my process and who I trusted, because you need to, you know, trust your virtual assistant, because they're going to, like I said, they're an extension of your business. They're going to have all of your login passwords. They're going to see all of your materials. They're going to have, you know, access to everything. They're going to have access to, you know, private information, things like that. So looking for somebody that you can trust and that understands your business model. And then of course, like seeing some social proof, getting some recommendations, or seeing like other things that they've done. If you're looking for a virtual assistant that is only like doing your social media, well, have they done that before? You know, can they do that for you? Are you looking for a virtual assistant that only answers emails? So finding a virtual assistant for the tasks. There are certain virtual assistants like Rhea who does like a lot of everything. Like she pretty much does, like has a hand in most of my business, most areas of my business. So that's always good when you can find somebody like that, but not everybody has that kind of genius.
True, very true.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you, when you were starting out, what were you looking for in a virtual assistant?
I just was looking for someone who could do it, who can do this job, right? I think the first virtual assistant that I had was somebody who could like post, like I would write blog posts and I needed them to post them up. And so I wanted to make sure that it was somebody who understood WordPress, who understood my blogging, but you know, and it worked out. It was fine. But what I found was I in doing that, like in doing a whole bunch of trial and error virtual assistants, I found that I needed more support than just posting up a blog, you know, because I needed them to do a lot more. And so what I was looking for was somebody who could do a lot more. Like it's not just copy and paste, but can you design? Can you, you know, change things? Does it look right? Things like that. And who understood my brand and could do things, who could anticipate what I needed without me just like having to say that. Like, I need this, this, and this. And I think Rhea does a good job like of anticipating what I need without me actually saying it. So, which is good. That's what I needed. Because I can copy and paste a blog post, but it needed to be more. So what I was looking for was somebody who could use their own genius, because being a virtual assistant is a very special skill. So can you use that and, you know, does it add value to my business is what I was looking for.
Like, for virtual assistants here in the Philippines, do you think that the budget or hourly rate really matters, or the skills matter most, or skills first or rate first, or does it go together?
I think skills first, of course, but I definitely think it goes together, right? Like if you are just starting out, you might not be able to charge as much as somebody who's been doing this for years. And that's okay, because as you get more clients and as you become more skilled, then you can just raise your rates, you know? And that's totally normal for any industry. So I think really getting the skill set down first and understanding what you contribute to a client, to a business, to an entrepreneur, and then like pricing according to that.
Yeah, because there are a lot of virtual assistants here that's really asking if they're charging correctly, basing on you know the worldwide competition out there. Because here in the Philippines, we're like feeling $3 per hour is okay already. Like, but our contemporary in the US, they're charging about $25 per hour, and that's their, you know, their average rate. But here we're charging very, very low compared to that. And people are asking, is that the correct thing to do on a client perspective? Like, are we going to be hired more because we're charging lower, or is it more of the skills thing rather than the hourly rate thing?
I see. Yeah, I think it's I think, having a lower rate is attractive. Like, for example, this is another thing too, because my mom is Filipino. So when I was looking for a virtual assistant, I actually wanted to hire a Filipino virtual assistant. Not because I knew that the rates would be lower. I mean, I know that, like, living in the Philippines, the cost of living is a lot lower. So I knew that that they would probably charge less, but that's not why I was looking for a Filipino virtual assistant. I wanted one because I knew that I knew their work ethic. I know that Filipinos typically work hard, and that, like, when they commit to something like this, that they're going to do it. Plus, I just feel like there's not a lot of jobs in the Philippines anyway, so this is such a great opportunity. Like, why can't, like, for me to be able to help somebody, like, to help them with their business, like, give them more business so they can make money for their family, for their children. I know that it's not, like, the job market in the Philippines is not very big, so I don't know. I just think this is a really good opportunity, and people in the Philippines need to take more advantage of it.
Yes.
Because it's so great. But so I wasn't looking for price necessarily. I was looking for somebody who had the work ethic and who I knew would be able to do the things I needed them to do. $3, it seems lower compared to the rest of the world, but if $3 changes your life, like, if you're charging your clients $3 an hour and it changes your life, like, that's amazing, because, maybe the next client you'll charge them $5 an hour, and the next you'll charge them $6. And then eventually you can go up in the ranks, but don't look at, because your cost of living is different there. So the cost of living in the United States is way higher than in the Philippines. So the reason why they're charging $25 is because that's just how the cost of living works. But I wouldn't say that their skill is any better. I would actually say that the skill in the Philippines is probably better. I mean, this is just my opinion. I haven't worked with every virtual assistant in America, so I don't know. But it's just what I wanted. I'm just saying it's what I wanted because I knew that it would be a really good match. So if you're starting out at $3, like, don't look at that as like, oh gosh, like, am I undervaluing? Am I, selling myself short? Because if you start there and you get confident, then you can charge whatever you want. Like, you just get more confident so that you can charge more. Because it still is a mindset, right? Like,
yeah.
Coaches are the same way. We start off charging a low amount, and then as we get bigger, then we charge more. So just know that, like, as you get more confident, you can start to charge more.
Yeah, and also, since you mentioned that your mom is also Filipino, some Filipinos doesn't speak well like me. That we have, like,
that's
this.
True.
Yeah, we have the accent that's very hard to remove. Do you think, in a client perspective, that would not make them hireable compared to Filipinos who speak English better, or to virtual assistants who speak better?
I think if there's a language barrier, it can just be a language barrier, right? So you have to work that out. Mm-hmm. But if you are really good at what you do and, like, your skill set is good, then I think that it's okay. It's something you guys can get over. And even that, like, once you start working with more clients, like, you'll start to get better at your English, get better at communicating, and then your clients will start to understand, and it'll, like, you can work it out. I don't think that's, like, a big deal. I mean, if you don't speak English at all, that's a problem because then you can't understand each other. Yeah. Your client is going to tell you something, you're going to tell them, and you won't understand. But I think if you can get the basics, like, understand the basics of communicating in English, then I think that it helps. But I don't think it's, like, going to be the deciding factor. Like, I can't understand her accent, so no, I'm not hiring her. I don't think that that's the deciding factor.
Because a lot of upcoming virtual assistants right now are very nervous that they prefer to not do any voice interviews or calls because they don't speak English very well, or they can write in English perfectly, but they don't have the confidence like this to talk to somebody like you over video or over a phone call, that they would stammer, or that they might forget that they know how to speak in English or something like that because of nervousness. Right. So what would you give us an advice for those?
I think practice makes perfect. So I think, like, if they're taking your course, for example, then, do all of them, everything in English as much as you can, right? You can even maybe have, I don't know, like, offer some, like, suggestions on different English courses. Like, my brother's in the Philippines right now. He teaches English. He teaches it online, and that's all he does is he just talks to people and they talk back to him in English. You know what I mean? So, because they need to practice.
Yeah.
So maybe like do something like that where it's just practicing. Right. So you're practicing your English, but as you do it, like, I think it'll just get better. Like you'll be more comfortable, but you have to start somewhere.
True. Very true. Now that you've mentioned what you like, what are the things that you don't like when hiring a virtual assistant? Like, you've hired her and, you know, she's iffy or he's iffy.
Right. I think like communication is a big deal. You know, like, R.E.A is so great at communicating like right off the bat. So I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about like previously, like other virtual assistants, like it just takes long to, you know, get back. And we work in an online space. So like we're always online, right? We're always online.
Yep.
And so it's very rare that you won't hear back from me in like, you know, a few hours unless I'm sleeping. And even when I'm sleeping, like I feel like, you know, it's not that long. So communication, make sure that you keep up the communication. Don't wait, you know, like a day or two to not communicate with your clients if they're messaging you or emailing you, because I think that that's important. And then just keeping your clients, make sure you're keeping them like updated on like the different projects. Because sometimes you can give somebody a project and it's not necessarily, you don't have it due like right away, but it's due like down the line, like maybe like a couple of weeks. And so, you know, your client will probably forget that they gave it to you. So just keep them updated. Like, hey, I'm still working on it. I know that the due date is whatever this day is, so it's going to be done then. What else? I think that's pretty much it.
Do you think the time zone difference matters?
Because I mean, it's never been a problem for us. I don't think so. It's not a problem. I mean, I think it's something to consider, right? Because if you are a virtual assistant in the Philippines, but most of your clients are in the United States, then you have to like kind of figure out a time that's going to make sense for you guys to communicate with each other, right? I know, like for example, like what time is it for you right now, right? Like 2 in the morning?
Yeah, nearing 3.
And she's up. Right, it's like 2 in the morning. Right, 3 a.m., but she's up, you know, and she's like, it's okay, I'll work on time zones with my clients, which I really appreciate. Especially when I have like big projects happening, you know what I mean? Like understanding time zone differences. So you just have to make those adjustments and be willing to make the adjustments. You don't have to do it all the time, but there will be certain times in your client's, you know, business where it's like, okay, I need you like at this time.
Okay, so we all know that you do coach people regarding their businesses and all of that. Now, if they ask you, those clients, if they ask you if it's time to hire a virtual assistant, what are the key things that they should be looking for in a virtual assistant, and what do you tell those clients? So
I say look for someone, like get recommendations from people. I think that's like the first thing, right? Like don't hire the first virtual assistant that comes your way. Get recommendations. See, you know, ask your friends like, hey, who's your virtual assistant? Are they taking clients? And if they're not taking clients, then they might know somebody, like their virtual assistant might know another virtual assistant, right? Because we all kind of hang out in the same circles. Like I'm sure, R.E.A, if you couldn't take on any more clients, I'd say, well, do you know someone? And then you could say, yes, I know this person. Sure. So I think get recommendations, and then, you know, have like a conversation. Don't hire them right off the bat, but have a conversation first. Get on Skype or Zoom or, you know, and have a face-to-face chat and say, this is what I need. Ask them say, this is what I need. Is this something that you can do? And then let them say yes or no, and then feel them out. You know, you don't have to hire someone right off the bat for like 6 months. You can try them out for like 5 hours or like, you know, 10 hours a week, whatever. Try them out first to see if it's working out for you. That's what I tell clients, and that's pretty much it. But I always say that, you know, they need to get one as soon as they can.
What is your opinion? Because there are a lot of clients out there that would request a virtual assistant to work, to do a test work for free. And
no, don't do it for free. Never do it for free. If they're asking you to do it for free, the answer is no. Like, no. Say, because you need to value yourself enough to know that you can't work for free. I mean, if they're testing out virtual assistants, they can test you for an hour. They can give you one project, right? Like, hey, can you create this Zap for me? Or can you post these blogs or make these social media? Like, you can test somebody out for an hour or 2, and it's not going to break your bank account. So they should never ask people. I don't know why they would even think that that's okay.
There's a lot of people.
That is not okay. Do people ask them to do things for free?
Well, not me, but you know.
Yeah, I know, but that is not okay. I do not. That is not. If someone asks you to work for free, you should probably just run away and not work for them ever, because that just sounds like they don't really understand the concept of business. Like,
true. You
would never ask them to work for free. I mean, do you say, hey, can you coach me for free? No. Or can you do this for me for free? No. So no. The answer is no. And if they ask you to work for free, then you should probably, that's just a turn off, and you should not work with them ever.
Agree.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. Now, there are a lot of virtual assistants here that uses platforms like, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, Upwork and and all of that good stuff. Now, if a virtual assistant, if you are to hire a virtual assistant and they send you like a resume versus a website, what would you prefer to what are you looking at in hiring better? Like the one that submitted a PDF thing, or the one that has a website already that is built in?
I would want the one that has the website, mostly because I have a website. Because some of the things that like you would do for me is on my website. So if you have your own website, then at least I know that you have a website. Not only that, but usually I just think that it's presentation. Like, you have to look at this as like a business, right? And so I think having a website is important. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't think I saw your website before like we started working together, so I don't think that's the case. I'm just saying, if you're sending me a resume versus a website, I'm going to go with the website more. So yeah, I just think that it looks more put together. You can have testimonials on there, and you can also upload your resume on there too if you want to. But really, like, having some testimonials and some social proof from like other clients that you've worked with, some samples. If you do more graphic design kind of things, some samples, and then you can list out the things that you are comfortable working with, like WordPress or, Photoshop or whatever.
Okay, one last question. What would you advise on a client perspective? What would you advise that virtual assistants do so that they would get clients like you?
I would say, well, obviously, of course, like, take R.E.A's course, get really good at what you do. And then I would just say, just start, putting yourself out there and saying, hey, I'm a virtual assistant. Start asking. If there's a client that you like want to work with and you see them and you're like, they probably could use some support, reach out to them and say, hey, like, I'm a virtual assistant. These are my specialties. Do you need any support? If not, then do you know anyone that might need the support? It's okay to like reach out. There's Facebook for that, right? Like Facebook groups, especially the ones with a lot of online entrepreneurs is a great place to find new clients. And just, make yourself known and keep yourself visible. I think that's important, is keep yourself visible. And if you already have clients, like, ask them if they have recommendations. Like, because a lot of times we have friends who need virtual assistants, right? Friends, clients, whatever. Like, I send friends, clients to R.E.A all the time.
My clients are interconnected to each other.
Yeah, right. Like, just throw them all. Yeah. And so I send people to R.E.A all the time, like, hey, this is, if they need some support. So just start putting yourself out there, let everyone know you're a virtual assistant, and then start asking people if they need support or if they know anyone that needs support.
I think that's my last question
Awesome.
for this interview. Thank you very much, Tracy, for
You're welcome.
your time at 3 in the morning.
I know, you need to go to sleep. You need to go to sleep.
At 3 in the morning. Thank you very much for your time, and
You're welcome.
I will talk to you on a different venue regarding work. Thanks, Tracy.
Bye.
Hi. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you would like to know more about me, know more about online jobs, watch tips and tricks on how to get your first online jobs client, what to do with interviews, how to start your online jobs career, please subscribe to my channel. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can put your comments on the comment section or visit me in my website. It's www.reado.com. I'm also in Facebook and in Twitter and in Instagram. Links are provided in my channel, so You can get in touch with me in all of those medias, and I look forward in hearing from you. Bye-bye!